guys, we just talked about fundamental particles, and just like we have fundamental particles, we also have the composite particles, the particles which are made up of fundamental particles. So the particles which are made up of fundamental particles or composite particles are called hadrons. So again, as I said, it's like more about learning their names. So composite particles are called hadrons, and we classify hadrons are baryons and mesons. So in what way are they being classified? Baryons are made up of 3 quarks and mesons are made up of 2 quarks. So any hadron which is made up of 3 quarks is called baryon, and any hadron which is made up of 2 quarks is called meson. So baryons are made up of 3 quarks, and the most important baryons for us are protons and neutrons. So protons, if you might have noticed the list of fundamental particles, then you would have noticed that there are no protons and neutrons in the fundamental particles, which means protons and neutrons are not the fundamental particles, they are the composite particles, and they're called baryons. And you also need to know their compositions. A proton is made up of 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. And a neutron is made up of 1 up quark and 2 down quarks. You can check that on the basis of their charges as well, because an up quark has a charge of 2/3 elementary charge, and a down quark has a charge of -1/3 elementary charge. So when you put these charges together, you'll get an elementary charge E, and when you put these charges together, you get a 0 charge, which is for neutron. So for baryons, you need to remember that they are proton and neutron, and also antiproton and antineutron. So just like a proton is made up of up, and down quark, a neutron is made up of up, down, and down quark. So if you compare proton with antiproton, if proton is made up of up, down, and antiproton is made up of anti-up, and anti-down. Likewise, a neutron is made up of up, down, down. So anti-neutron would be made up of anti-up, anti-down, and anti-down. So guys, as we were trying to say, we had 2 classifications of hadrons, and I mean, I have to teach you everything that's part of your syllabus, but I also feel like telling you what's most important in terms of like what's being asked the most. So those are baryons. Baryons are being asked the most, and you have to remember that proton, neutron, antiproton, and antineutron are the baryons. And you have to remember the compositions in terms of quarks. So quarks are affected by strong nuclear forces. So in a proton, these 2 up and 1 down quark are being held together by strong nuclear forces. These are held together by strong nuclear forces. So mesons are also hadrons, but these are the ones which are made up of 2 quarks. So that's how we classify hadrons in terms of 2 quark mesons and 3 quark baryons. So when you talk about mesons, mesons are being further classified as pions and kaons. Now, the reason for that classification is that pions have no strangeness, whereas kaons have 0 strangeness. Now, strangeness is a property associated with strange quarks. So a strange quark has a strangeness of 1, and an anti-strange quark has a strangeness of -1. So you will see that when I say mesons are made up of 2 quarks, and there'll always be, and they're made up of 2 quarks, there'll always be 1 anti-quark and 1 quark. But the reason for classification of pions and kaons is that kaons have overall strangeness and pions don't have strangeness, because you see there's no strange quark over here. Pi plus pion, pi minus pion doesn't have any strangeness, and pi naught. So pi naught is made up of a quark and it's very anti-quark, like up and anti-up, down and anti-down, strange and anti-strange. Pi plus and pi minus are made up of up, anti-down, or anti-up and down. So that's basically the difference between pi plus, pi minus, and pi zero. Pi zero is a quark and it's very anti-quark. So you see only one possibility where there could have been strangeness is pi naught with strange and anti-strange, but strange has a strangeness of 1 and anti-strange has a strangeness of -1. So even for this one, the overall strangeness is going to be 0. And that's why we say that pions have no or 0 strangeness. Whereas if you would notice mesons, which are kaons, so you would see this one has 1 anti-strange. So that means it has a strangeness of -1. It has 1 strange, it has a strangeness of 1, and K naught would have a strangeness of 1 or a strangeness of -1. So any meson that has an overall strangeness is going to be called kaon, and the one that doesn't have, that's a way to remember. So if it doesn't have an overall strangeness, then it will be classified as pion.